he was up 2-0, and it looked as though he was going to be completely fine. And it looked as though it was to be expected 3-0, and then all of a sudden Hellraiser takes him up, like, okay, that's pretty nice. Then he takes 2, and we're like, oh my god. Then he takes map number 3 on Frost, and we're map number 5 on Frost, we're like, wow, Hellraiser has brought out the upset. When does the Matcherino campaign end? The Matcherino campaign will go on until the finals are over. So basically you can, for the entirety of the event, you'll be able to contribute to the prize pool of the Wardi Open. So, if you want to, there's no rush, and we've still got plenty of time to reach our goal as well. Because we've still got round of 8 broadcasts and the final broadcasts too. So it will go on until the end of the finals. So after the finals are over, that's when it'll shut, because the tournament ends at that point. Guys, let's kick this off to the top right side of the map. Our pink Zerg player is going to be envious viOLet, coming into this series after a bit of a heartbreaking loss in the first series. As we have to the bottom left-hand side, our red Zerg player from True Esports. Let's see if he can win his first map of the day. It's going to be Reynor. And again, after this series, we have that PvP coming up. DNS takes on Hellraiser in a match, a PvP best of 5, to determine who will be going through the group in first place. Obviously, advancing first place in the group is way more important than advancing in second. Obviously, advancing through the group is important, but advancing in first place is very, very nice, because it means you're going to play someone from second place from another group. And, well, that basically means you get to avoid a live, Snoot, and Nurtio. So, instead of a live, Snoot, and Nurtio, you have to play still some pretty good players in E-Laser, E-Laser Keen, and Marine Lord. But still, I mean, generally, there's the first place for a reason. Also, can we get some hype? Because it actually means that now we have our, now we have a PvP winner bracket match. We're going to have a Protoss player. We're going to have a Protoss player in the round of 8. Yes! Come on, that's fantastic. It's very Zerg and Terran dominated right now from what was initially a very kind of Protoss heavy lineup from the qualifiers. It's very Zerg and Terran dominated so far, as we'll be seeing here. viOLet has opened with kind of a bit of an earlier gas pool than Reynor. Reynor with the hatch gas pool, viOLet with kind of the gas pool on 17, and then going into a hatchery just after. Thank you very much, Shuggy Walton, for the 5-month resub. Can we get some love? So can you hear some love in the chat, please, for Shuggy Walton? Thank you very much for resubscribing, and welcome back for yet another month here on the stream. Do appreciate the consistent support. Thank you. Don't forget, guys, if you do enjoy the stream, then you can hit that subscribe button as a fantastic way to support the stream. You get replay packs. We just sent out a replay pack the other day, which had a whole bunch of replays in from a huge amount of great players. It was pretty much every single... I didn't leave anything out. It was every game we streamed in August, from the NSL to Leifeng Cups to the SGL and more. So it has a great set of replays. If you want to get your hands on that, I'm still giving it out for the first half of September. You can still get your hands on the August replay pack if you subscribe. As we see, the Zerglin's going to run on in, and they're going to be surrounding that Queen. That Queen's going to go down here. Drone's going to pull away up in towards the high ground, and then they're going to turn around and fight a little bit more. So actually this kind of gas pool opening from viOLet is starting to work out for him. Going to run around and see what else he can do. Try and chase down a drone here at the moment. Spore Crawler starts to come in. Reynor defends pretty well, actually. As you can see here, he's going to be under a little bit more of an attack. More Zerglings coming across the map. He's on a bit of a worker lead, and you can actually see he'll pull it back up to the high ground now, will Reynor. Just keep on keep on trying to defend as viOLet. This link flood is starting to get work done. He might even kill the natural hatchery. Reynor doesn't seem to be very well prepared for this at all, as Zerglings and drones are going to come down to this low ground. Queen will start to fight here as well. The Lings will come in again. Drones will turn to fight once more. Going to continue to take a bit more damage. Zerglings back away, and again you can see them picking away at these drones one by one. So lots of damage being done there, and Zerglings will turn and fight once again. 6 drones down. That's going to put viOLet in a nice little lead here, as now he's actually going to add more Zerglings. A Baneland nest starts up for him too. I'm going to see actually viOLet will... Well, I mean, maybe it's one or two things. Either he wants to kind of defend against the counterattack, or he's just getting ready to attack again himself. Maybe even a little bit of both here. Quite often there's a bit of a cat and mouse game in this ZvZ where, one player attacks and during that time they drone, and then the other player counterattacks because they've made enough units to defend, and then we go and kind of, the situation reverses itself, and again it's kind of back and forth for a while. And that's why kind of Ling Bane is such a thing, because it is always kind of back and forth, fighting and fighting and fighting, and you don't know when your opponent's going to stop, so it's safer to play Ling Bane than trying to go straight to roaches, although that is something that we can see oftentimes as well nowadays, kind of straight to roaches. We're going to see Violet here. A few Zerglings just going to come in, and he actually doesn't have enough to defend back at home, so he has a few more units on the way out, but there's a lot of Lings. At the same time, he's across the map as well himself. Getting a little bit more done here, taking a good fight. Just because of sheer numbers, really, he'll start trading quite well against these drones. The Lings across the map, though, will also do a pretty good job of cleaning up, and, well, 6 more workers have been killed by Reynor so far. Reynor losing 8 workers, but he's killed 2, and he's actually going to get cleaned up. So again, Reynor comes out of this behind by about 6 workers here, as Violet will move onto the map once again. And, well, a few more things just continue to come across. He's going to start a third hatchery behind this now as more Zerglings keep on coming down towards the bottom left-hand side. And we actually see Reynor coming in, just doing a little bit more damage here. Zerglings going to keep on passing by from Violet, and he actually loses 4 drones of his own in total. I thought it was only 2, but obviously a couple more Lings or so were around, as we'll see. Another little bit of a run by Reynor. He's going to get in here. I mean, Reynor may as well... sorry, Reynor. I've ruined it. Reynor... I was going to say run by should be Reynor's middle name, but obviously that doesn't work if you open the sentence with Reynor, because Reynor is his name. But he loves run bys, and he does very well with these counterattacks, etc. all of the time with these Zerglings in all the matchups. It's more or less what won him the series after being 2-0 down against Beastie Cutie back in the qualifiers. We're going to be seeing these Zerglings running in from Reynor, and again, still trying to do a little bit more. Obviously, a Bane Nest is up now for Violet. That's something we don't see from Reynor. Reynor is investing into a +1 melee upgrade, though, which means these Zergling trades will definitely start to go in his favor as time passes by. So a few Lings going to run into each other in the center of the map. And Violet just going to keep on trading here. A few more Lings to the top side going to run in as well. And again, look to see what they can get up to. A couple of Zerglings from Violet. Still trying to defend the Queen as well, but that's going to go down pretty quickly. Another Queen about to pop. Don't know how long that'll last for. Probably not too long. We'll drop an inject, but will still be killed off here as Violet continues to try and attack across the map. +1 melee now in the game, though. And that means that Reynor starts to trade a lot better than his opponent. And as reinforcements stream out for Violet, are they going to be enough? Is what we're going to have to start asking ourselves. And I don't know if they are. Violet's dropping heavily in supplies. Attack across the map is shut down. He doesn't have any Banelings to kind of shut down these Zerglings, which would be one way to make up for the lack of +1 melee. And you can just see here, Reynor continues to trade very well. Violet's still up a hatchery to the left-hand side, but now down 5 workers again, and that's going to increase as Reynor is the one who actually starts getting some damage done. 3 workers killed there as the drones pull in and do a little bit more. Zergling's still trying to fight. Reynor this time will have to back away and maybe just reinforce with a few more units. He actually turns to fight and picks off a couple of Lings for a couple of Lings. More Lings again across the map, and again he's avoiding the Lings of his opponent, looking to run by more so than take a straight up fight. So looking to run by, do some damage, and then at the same time defend at home. So here you go into the main base here. Shutting down the Queen production, of course, is really nice too. It makes Violet miss injects, and even though therefore he's on an extra base, missing the injects kind of evens up the kind of the production of the players. We see Violet just taking more damage. GG is going to be called, and Reynor will take game number 1 of this. Going to go as we have to the upper left-hand side. It's going to be our player who's down again, currently from Envious. Our pink Zerg is Violet. And down to the bottom right-hand side, our red Zerg player. It is going to be from True Esports. It's Reynor. Setting up into game number 2 of this best of 5 series, and it's going to be Reynor who just extracted tricks here initially. Violet right now not doing anything just yet. So he's not doing anything just yet now. And looks like we'll probably have a hatchery first from both players then. So early kind of hatcheries. Again, in the last game it was a gas pool from Violet. Not a super aggressive gas pool. It's actually going to be pool first from Reynor. So gas pool from Violet last time around was the way in which he kind of opened up aggressively, sort of. So aggressively / safely. You know, either or kind of both the same. Reynor is going to go pool gas. And this means he can put on some aggression across the map to what is a hatch first at the gold from Violet. Now it might just be from Reynor a way for him to move into his own gold base safely, where he's going to look to take the gold, and he's going to have units out in plenty of time to make sure he gets that gold up without being under too much pressure. You know, also he can create pressure of his own, so see what happens. It's an interesting map because obviously a bit of a coin flip, and you just don't find out for so long what is exactly going on, because this overlord from Reynor, you can see with this overlord from Reynor, it takes so long to get across the map, so you don't see the gold base for a very long time. You don't see how aggressive your opponent's being for a very long time compared to other maps. So it is quite interesting as we're going to be seeing the hatchery. Just coming down on the normal expansion from Reynor here, so I'm just going to put this down as normal. I'm going to be seeing the spawning pool from Violet is starting to build up, so spawning pool for Violet about 75% of the way done, going to be finishing shortly. as he goes hatch gas pooling himself. So obviously his second speed not actually going to be that far behind in general. It's just a little bit of a build order advantage from Reynor, from viOLet actually, because as long as he can defend this gold base, which I think he should be able to. I mean, his hatchery is finished now and his spawning pool is also done, so he can make zerglings. So I don't think Reynor's going to take much of an advantage from this at all. Maybe the slightly faster zergling speed will lead to something. That's pretty much all he's really headed towards at this point. So I'm going to be seeing these couple of lings from Reynor. They're going to head up the left-hand side. It's only 2 though. It's not 6. It's not 8. It's 2. So not really going to be able to get too much done right here. So they continue to come up this left-hand side. You see a few zerglings going to collect together the left side of the base from viOLet. They're actually going to pick up a kill nice and quickly there. And Reynor going to continue heading up north and just seeing what's going on. So he knows about the gold base. He obviously saw this with the Overlord as well. And we get to see what his reaction is going to be. He's actually starting up 10 zerglings already. viOLet himself, with Banelet's just over halfway done, Ling Speed's about halfway done as well. Looks as though he's going to turn on the aggression too. Up a gold base means his economy is good, and so the trades which he makes here could be pretty interesting, as we're going to be seeing these zerglings. They're going to come down in towards this natural in a few moments' time, and you'll see the Banelet is going to be starting up here from Reynor on natural as well. So Banelet's starting up here from him too, but here we go. Zergling's going to start coming out, and Reynor actually with the faster zergling speed will pick up a few kills here right away. And I see a couple of Banes starting to morph in from viOLet, but I'm not sure if they're going to get a chance to finish because, well, Reynor's actually playing it safe because he doesn't actually know how close those Banes are to finishing morphing. So he's just going to leave a couple of lings on them. And he's actually going to be able to kill both. Well, he kills one. The other one's going to finish morphing in now as well. If he committed onto them fully initially, it would have been alright, but of course he doesn't know that if he didn't see them initially. So just playing it safely there. As we're going to be seeing the Evo Chamber coming up for him. And well, he continues across the map. He's trading well so far. He actually turns one ling away and he is able to pick that Baneling off. And viOLet is down on workers, and he's been very aggressive himself. Now we see actually Reynor is adding on even more workers as he sets up into his +1 melee upgrade once again. So very similar to what we saw in game number 1 between the players, as we'll see Reynor kind of ahead on workers and viOLet being the kind of the more aggressive player. This time though, Reynor has Banelings of his own. We didn't really see the Banelings come into effect from either player in the last game. Obviously Reynor never had a Baneling nest, but viOLet did, but he never really got to use the Banelings to much, to a great extent. We're going to see a couple of queens coming towards the front. Some Zerglings going to run to the mineral line here. Banelings, one of them being used initially. Ooh, a little bit late on connecting with that second one. As drones get pulled in to help out, more Banelings come forward. And oh, viOLet loses a lot of lings to that Baneling. And that will hurt him a lot here, as we're going to see the queens will obviously want to try and target down the Banelings. Zerglings running forwards, wanting time to do some damage. I like that actually, hitting one Baneling into this clump, because it puts them all in such low health that now it's very easy for the queens to snipe them down. 9 workers go down, but Reynor maintains a worker advantage. One of his queens towards this side falls, the other one staying alive. A few more Banes going to morph in off to the side, and again, viOLet behind this still is mining off of a gold base. So mining off of a gold base is nice. That's still an advantage for him, as we have the natural expansion also finishing. So very similar to the last game where viOLet has, is up a base and is being the kind of the more aggressive player. And Reynor, well, he's trying to run by once again. He is starting to make things happen. He's finding a few Zerglings to start trading with, although he starts to pull back with those. As we're going to see, oh, I like that. Again, the one Baneling just on 4 of these Banes just gets them so low, and so as they move forwards, they just don't get anything done realistically. We're going to see one more Baneling morphing in. He is going to finish though, and it's going to get the connection to clean on up. And viOLet's still hurting as, well, I mean, it's very close to kind of breaking through, but the queens are going to continue to make a stand, and they're going to clump up together to minimize the surface area. So queens get cleaned up, and now Reynor's lings actually did make it to the other side, and so viOLet is losing drones again. And he's going to have to type out GG into aggressive link. What happens in game number 3 as we spawn on Frozen Temple. To the top left-hand side, our pink Zerg player from Envious. Let's hear it, guys, if you're going to be cheering on viOLet. And down to the bottom right, our red Zerg player from True Esports. Let's hear it if you're cheering on Reynor. Again, how's everybody doing? Welcome to the stream. If you're just joining us, you've missed a lot of action already today. Honestly, Hellraiser 3-2 against viOLet, DNS 3-0's Reynor. But some very good games, and now Reynor is up 2-0 against viOLet. The winner of this will go into the decider match to play against the loser of DNS and Hellraiser, which will be our PvP series coming up next. This started out as looking to be quite a long day, but it's very quickly becoming a very quick day, as we have a 2-0 lead now from Reynor, and viOLet is, well, setting up here. We're going to see hatch gas pool. And it's going to be, sorry, pool, wait, what is this? So yeah, sorry, I'm getting confused with the way around the bars are. Pool first from Reynor. So again, Reynor playing safely early on. Pool hatch gas from him means he's going to be a little bit behind on the gas of his opponent, so let's see what happens. We'll probably get into a Ling Bane phase once again here. It is a map where you can actually wall off and go Roach Rowan Evo Chamber quite quickly and sort of skip the Ling speed even if you want to. But the way these guys have played so far has actually struggled to get out of Ling Bane, so I imagine we'll sort of see that again. Neither of them strike me as immediately the sort of person who necessarily wants to play sort of Roach whatever. Not from the very start anyway. I mean, Reynor loves his run-bys, so he would love to keep that kind of Zergling speed in the game. And viOLet as well. Yeah, he likes to kind of be aggressive himself to some extent. His Ling speed, again, just about 10 to 15 seconds ahead of his opponents. We'll see if that comes to kind of help him in any way as the game continues here. As we'll see, this drone just going to be chased back. The first few Zerglings of Reynor come in actually, and I'm going to pick off one worker immediately and actually going to get a second. So starting to make up for a little bit of a disadvantage that pool first puts you in. Picks off 3 workers, actually going to take a worker lead with that one. So that's pretty nice here as we'll see this Queen just going to pick off another Zergling and just clean out. Drone going to come over to the right side here and we'll be starting to build up the 3rd hatchery. I'm just going to be seeing the Baneling Nest coming down. So Baneling Nest coming down from Reynor. As we're going to see a couple of Lings just going to come up onto the ramp. And again, there's that 3rd hatchery coming in. Again, guys, as also today, we'll have the the drawing of the bracket. So today we'll have our 8 players that have qualified. At the end, we'll draw them into the bracket so that we know who is going to be playing who, and so on and so on, going into the rest of the event, which will start up next week, actually, the round of 8 and on, just because some of the players at WCS Mexico, and there's not too much free time over the next week anyways. A few seconds from viOLet just going to be backing away. Single Baneling going to be added on here as well. So single Baneling getting added on, and well, those few Lings just continue to be chased around. So a few Lings still being chased around. We see viOLet is going to be looking to see what else he can get up to as well. Actually runs in and shuts down a Baneling or 2 there initially. However, look at this. Reynor will come in for a good amount of Zerglings to defend this second Baneling. And for now, the second Baneling will stay alive. He comes in now again. He gets one of those couple of Banelings low, but it's not a good trade for him that time, as that's probably one of the better Baneling connections we've seen of this series so far. As we'll see, Reynor with one more Baneling about to finish up. Nice little split away from viOLet. 2 more Banes to morph in for himself. And, well, viOLet making a lot more Ling Bane off of this 3rd hatchery, whereas Reynor back at home, he's just building up into a few more drones here before he continues his Roach round, even starting as well. So we're actually getting out of the Ling Bane phase, perhaps, for the first time in this ZvZ. So these Zerglings going to be moving down to the bottom right. We're going to see lots of Zerglings coming through the center of the map. A few Banes going to morph in all the way to the right-hand side. 3 Banelings morphing into the far right-hand side there. Single Baneling goes off and connects with just a few Zerglings. A couple more Banes coming in, and I mean, they're pretty good connections from Reynor, honestly. He gets rid of one of the Banes of his opponent. 2 Banes for free here, potentially. No, doesn't get it, but he does get some good Zergling connections. And the Banes just aren't really doing enough from viOLet, and Reynor's cleaning up, and he went into this with a slight worker lead. Will come out a slight worker deficit, as he loses 4 workers to the harassment of viOLet here around the bases while the attack goes on. But he just cleaned up quite nicely, and maybe now he can launch his own counter-attack. He starts up the Evolution Chamber. viOLet's still making units here, more Zerglings, and now a few Roaches being added on as well. And in this game number 3, all is even, heading in towards the middle stages of the game. We're getting out of the Ling Bane phase. Obviously still a bit of Ling Bane left on the map, but we're getting towards the point in the game where we're going to see Roaches really starting to kind of come into effect, as we'll see Reynor pulling back here. It's a big connection on the Zerglings. Maybe that's the momentum he needs to get something done towards the 3rd hatchery. The Roaches are here, then. The Roaches are hard to fight into with Zerglings. There's just not quite enough to like surround and overwhelm those Roaches despite the lower numbers, as viOLet's still making Roaches. I wonder if he is just going to commit across the map and just go all out aggression here to try and end this game very quickly and try and take himself into victory. As we see, these Zerglings are backing away. Reynor kind of all over the place, not sure exactly where he wants to go. You're going to see a few units from Reynor also gathering together on top of this ramp. A few of those Zerglings do get up in towards the main base here, and viOLet going to be trying to fight these and clean them up, but it's going to lose the Queen at least. So the Queen's going to go down. I mean, this is viOLet just moving across the map. 30 Zerglings being made. Reynor will get a little bit of damage done before the Zerglings come in and clean this up. So, I mean, that's still nice. Killing off a few workers is better than none, but look at this. Reynor is already setting up with plenty of units at home. His first engagement is going to be good. He just outnumbers his opponent straight away here. Pulling back towards his Spine Crawler. A couple of Balins will come into play as well. Even just going towards the center of these Roaches gets a few of them just that little bit weaker. And now it's Reynor who's starting to take a little bit of an army supply lead. Queen's coming in to fight as well. A couple of transfuses available to put onto Roaches, etc. As we'll see, viOLet is, well, starting to run thin on units. He's got a few Lings kind of streaming in a couple at a time, but I don't think it's going to be enough. As Reynor reinforces with his own Zerglings, he's going to cut off the exit path here, and viOLet is not going to have much left at all. Those Roaches are going to keep on falling, and you're going to be seeing everything else getting cleaned out, and viOLet just doesn't have anything left after this. He's down 10 workers. He's going to run a few more Zerglings up into the main base, but this is not working out well for him at all, and Reynor is looking as though he's going to 3-0 our Korean player here today and take this. And, well, I mean, just wow, really, I think. It's probably the best way to say it. These Roaches are going to continue to head up towards the upper left-hand side. A few more Zerglings for viOLet. They're going to head around the left. A few Overlords just going to sit overhead as well. And here we go. Reynor is going to keep on moving forwards. Lings, Roaches. Here we go, moving on in. The Zerglings coming forwards here from viOLet to see what they can get done. But the Roaches of Reynor, there's just too many of them. A few Lings still left to tank for him as well. And, well, actually, maybe he's been a little bit over-aggressive here. With reinforcement distance on viOLet's side, he'll actually be able to push this away. But again, Reynor, he holds a 20-worker lead. He holds a +1 missile upgrade already starting. That's going to be a huge thing for him in the near future as well, as these Roaches keep turning, picking off a couple of Zerglings, and just keep on backing away here. Roaches, Lings continue to stream across the map from viOLet. A couple of Balins coming forwards, connecting on some Lings and Roaches. Lings going to come forwards again here, and, well, Spine Crawler will go down pretty quickly, but now the reinforcement distance is on Reynor's side, and you can see how quickly that turns things around here. viOLet has to back away. As time goes by, Reynor gets closer and closer to the +1 upgrade. The +1 upgrade, which will more or less secure him a position in the decider match today against the loser of DNS and Hellraiser. viOLet is in a lot of trouble, guys. He's down still in workers. He's down by 30 army supply now as well. There's no left from either player, so there isn't a roach speed from either of them in the kind of foreseeable future. So this roach is just collecting together towards this third base. We see a few Zerglings from Reynor up the right-hand side to try and harass a little bit. His lair now starts. Obviously, the lair not just for roach speed, but also for the +2 attack upgrade. He might even start his +1 carapace first to begin with anyways, so we do see Lings going to come around the right-hand side. A lot of these are going to collect up together. And you're going to be seeing Reynor getting ready to run on in here, in towards this third hatchery. So Reynor going to run in towards this third base, and a few Roaches going to start moving forwards to see what they can do, pushing a few of those Zerglings back. 30 more Roaches being made currently from Reynor. So a whole ton of Roaches coming into play. And Reynor continues to go towards the upper left-hand side. Is just going to have so much, with +1 on his side as well. A few Zerglings from viOLet run around the right, but that means they're not going to be here at the front to defend, and Reynor we'll keep reinforcing this as well, as Zergling's actually going to end up coming back over here, and, well, here we go. Reynor just going to wait for 3 more reinforcements before he commits on in, but he's definitely got what it takes to fight this. His lair's finished back at home. He starts a 4th base as well. I'm sure he'll start very soon. Roach speed and probably +2 missile attack as well. He's still kind of sitting tight. Reynor's actually going to back away. viOLet going to run down the right-hand side. The Balin comes in, though, and kills absolutely every single Zergling apart from this one, which is left over. And now all of a sudden, no Zerglings to tank. And, well, viOLet is definitely in trouble, as we'll see those Roaches going to push up to the upper left-hand side. And here we go. It's time for Reynor to keep on moving forwards and to go into the decider match. Didn't look convincing against DNS. I mean, had some very close games, but just didn't quite have a way to close them out. But against viOLet, he's going to win quite convincingly, it seems, 3-0, as he pushes in for what should be the final attack of the series. 20 seconds until viOLet's +1 comes into play. He has a few Ravagers to play with here, and Reynor just being a little bit careful against them, maybe more careful than he has to be at this point. Continue to dodge away from those bars. He fights on in, 15 seconds still until viOLet hits his +1 upgrade to tie up the upgrades. There's just going to be so much here from Reynor, and viOLet is going to have to type out. I'm going to be seeing Reynor just continuing to push forwards, cleaning out so many more units here. Roaches keep on pushing forwards. GG is called, and Reynor is going to take the 3-0.